Morning YouTube. Just making a little video here in response to Smoking Cardboard's 200 sub giveaway. Steve Coddington, lovely channel, well done mate, you're rapidly getting up there, fantastic. Smoking my Dr. Grabo with some GAW and Hogarth coffee and caramel, the last of it actually, lovely tobacco. Well, Steve asked the video reply to address a gift that you received, a present you received as a child. Well, my choice for that always stands out in my mind was a Saturn 5 model kit from Airfix. This is the real one, magnificent rocket, look at it. I don't know, I think that belongs to Revell or one of the big American companies. Maybe it was even then belonging to them, but as a kid in England in the 1960s you used to build Airfix models of everything, you know, bombers and Spitfires and ships, and of course it was a great way to keep kids very occupied and get used to trying to do detailed work, and you could even paint them at the end and put little tattoo transfers on them to make them look more and more real, and it was a sort of competition amongst school kids to sort of have the nicest set and do the nicest models, you know. But I was always fascinated by space and travel and astronauts, and I remember vividly the fantastic 1969 launch of Apollo 11, and I've watched all the missions up to that point as well, and what a magnificent rocket it was. Werner von Braun with his team, and it was absolutely brilliant, the technology. If we look at it today, you think the computer that was in the lunar module, today you could put in a button, you know, and this was this very, and even then in those days it was considered a mini mainframe in the capsule. It's quite incredible that we actually succeeded to get to the moon in 1969 with the technology that we had, but the Saturn V rocket proved to be very reliable, very powerful. Let's have a look at it. And here it is, taking off from the launch pad. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely fantastic. And the brave crew with Armstrong, Aldrin and Collins, those brave young men who of course had very distinguished histories in the Air Force, and even when they were children they were obviously very clearly almost gifted and very bright. And here are those three heroes. Wonderful. Very special men and very courageous men, because everything was a bit risky and uncertain back then, even as well and brilliantly as NASA put all backup systems and backup systems on the backup systems. You know, it'd been a hard journey and there were all kinds of problems along the way, and the Russian program, even though they were very successful with the orbital launch of Gagarin, never succeeded to build a big powerful rocket that could reach the moon. They all blew up, and everything fell apart when one of their leading scientists and program managers unfortunately died early. So it was quite incredible. The world was riveted to watching America, and America try for the moon as Kennedy had dreamed to achieve. And of course I as a kid was, you know, in awe of this and wanted to have this model, which I got at Christmas. And here's the model. Marvellous, look at this. And built it up and painted it, and for many years that was a pride in the corner of my little bedroom, and constantly used to look at it and take it apart and look at the module and look at the little capsule. And they succeeded, you know, got to the moon. I had one of those stereo cameras where we had marvellous photos like these ones to look at in stereo, fantastic. And look at these beautiful, very sharp photos, incredible. And not only was the landing on the moon legendary and wonderful and historic, and I was allowed to stay up very late to watch that happen, but their return in this little capsule with these 3 parachutes opening up, and you thought they made it, they're back. And the relief when those chutes opened and they splashed down. I never will forget it. And also, of course, the dramatic Apollo 13 mission, which is a great film made by Tom Hanks and others who were absolutely brilliant in that film. But I remember the events of it, and that just shows that things can go wrong, and unexpected things, and you can't somehow rule everything out. And this explosion, of course, in Aquarius paralyzed the ship, and Jim Lovell for me was a hero, and still is a hero, because he was so cool under enormous pressure. There, all that way out, nobody could help you. You had to work out your own solutions. Think quickly, keep cool. And he was for me a model of a man that he could do that. And they got back. They got back with a big team of support by NASA, coming up with ideas and thinking it out. And I think it was almost an equal achievement to landing on the moon, that they got them back and they solved the problems and they kept their cool, and they got them back. I remember them waiting to the last minute, you know, and it almost exceeded the safe period that they could come back through the clouds, and then suddenly it was there, and the announcer on the television jumped and said, "My God, they're there! They made it! They made it!" Oh, almost everyone was in tears and excitement that they had gotten back, and they were on the deck there. And I thought, those brave young, incredible men, that they achieved that. Here's to you guys. So anyway, that was the Saturn V rocket, Airfix. That was my absolute favourite present of all time that I ever got, and certainly as a child it was magnificent. Hope you enjoyed that story, and a great idea, Steve, for a GAW question. Absolutely superb. Well done, mate, and keep going the way you are. It's a lovely, fantastic channel. Cheers everyone. Bye bye.